and wolf.
All
So
right.
it seemed fitting.
What is a wolf symbolic of for you?
Oh,
Or are these literal wolves?
no. Well, yes, yes
Meta-
and no.
All right.
I have made some visits to some places to see some live wolves because they do fascinate me. They're very beautiful creatures, and there's actually an incredible article I read recently about how once they let the wolves back into Yellowstone, the aspen started growing again,
Mhm.
and just their part of the ecosystem is so undervalued in the world, and I find that beautiful. But it's also very symbolic. There's a long history and folklore of women and wolves, and I'm nothing if not full of stories.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah,
songwriting.
at least a dozen here, right? Or 10.
There's 10 on this
tracks.
one,
Yeah.
but I got at least 10 more. I'm ready to make another one.
I love when artists come in here and they're here to promote the new record. And they're like, I'm already working on the next record.
Oh yeah,
Like
it's already written.
you're already a step ahead of yourself.
Just gotta make some money so I could get back in the studio.
All right. Well, let's just start off with a song here.
All right,
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna play with The Only Soul on the Road.
Okay, this is the opening track from the record.
Yeah.
All right, and do you want to say anything about it? Because I saw this title and I could definitely see like driving up Island late at night, but I don't know if that's what this is.
It wasn't late at night, but I was driving up Island, and I had been in New York 2020 through February, and I came back to play the potluck on like March 7th, I think it was.
Mhm.
And the next day, the
2020.
world shut down.
Yeah.
And I was just driving around, and that line came to me, and I went home, and I got a text message from a friend of mine. Said, "Did I see you walking?" And I was like, "No, but I'm going to use that." The first line of the song. So
Yeah.
it just all kind of. So that's what this one's about.
All right, here's Rose Guerin, The Only Soul on the Road on MBY.
Did I see you walking? Your face a shadow in the snow. I guess you see what you want to when you're the only soul on the road. The only soul on the road. Are you basking in the silence or singing as you go? You're still the one that I talk to when I'm the only soul on the road. The only soul on the road. Everything you have bred for, every time you would said, oh, now is when you test your metal. What you alone? Don't forget to thank your mother. She wasn't perfect, but your whole her lessons made sturdy companion when you're the only soul on the road. The only soul on the road. The only soul on the road.
MBY Radio, Rose Guerin live in the studio. It's a song called "Only Soul on the Road." I had a line and then I just lost it. But who are you when you're alone?
Yeah,
Was that did I get
that's
the
the
line right?
line.
Have you answered that question yet?
Yes,
You have.
yes, because I'm alone a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I have discovered that is kind of the key to life.
Tell me more.
Becoming comfortable with who you are and yourself. And I mean, because not to be a downer, but I think about these things a lot as people I love pass on,
Yeah.
is that everyone dies alone and I want to be all right. So I spend a lot of time with myself, my plants. I spend time with my friends as well.
Hmm.
But I think it's a good balance for me with the public persona and public life in small town.
Hmm.
And then a lot of time in the woods being a witch.
Sure.
Yeah.
You brought us
He
flowers
thinks
today?
I'm joking.
No, I know you brought us flowers today, and now I'm wondering if they're like haunted.
No,
Okay, good.
no, witches aren't haunted. It's just a word for woman.
Okay.
It's
All
just like a, you know, it's a joke. Not really. I love plants.
right. I
Plants are
would.
medicine.
So that the song you just sang is the
Yes.
opening track to the record, and I actually want to play like I was listening to the record last night. I want to play like the end of the song because I want to just talk about the difference between doing something live with just an
Yes.
acoustic guitar and then like the elements you bring in at the end. So I'm gonna see if I can just cue up to the last like 5 seconds of the song.
I
Yeah,
love
let's put
that.
this together. Yeah. All right, I just like how that part that how the song the recorded version of the song is very atmospheric,
Hmm.
as opposed to like singer songwritery. There's it's haunty and spacey and it's a very empty road sounding song.
Hmm.
And then like how do you I just like how the song
Well, his
ends,
name is
right?
Justin Craig,
Okay.
Grammy winning. Uh, he's incredible. He was actually a part of Vanderveer,
Which was your
my old
band? Yeah.
national act.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we've actually been working on some. We worked on some stuff before Robbie passed as well. So hopefully there'll be a little bit more Vanderveer to come out at some point. Justin was in Vanderveer. He was in a lot of the bands that um, was a kind of that cluster in the, you know, alts. I guess they're the
Yeah.
alts now.
Thoughts, yeah.
when we were touring a lot, and then Justin and I, he always would come back to me because I wasn't doing my solo music, and we met. I had been doing a lot more of my solo stuff. He'd always come back and say, "Gotta make that record someday." And then we made that the last record that you know of
Yeah.
together. Took us 5 years, and then this one only took us two. But
Hmm.
Justin is a genius. He's a musical director on Broadway. He did Stereophonic last,
Yeah.
and before that, Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Mhm.
Um, and he produces all kinds. He produces Abby Hamilton. I don't know if
I
you've
don't
heard
know.
her. She's out of Kentucky. She's you're gonna hear her.
Name to watch.
Yeah, she just did her debut at the Opry. She's pretty
Oh,
great.
very cool.
She's a very cool chick too. She also records out of the same studio, Lexington Recording Company in Kentucky, where I made all the Vanderveer records. Did the Ringo stuff.
Mhm.
Did I guess we had Dwayne come up here for the last record, but and we've made this record there as well.
Yeah. Do you like being recording away from the vineyard?
I love recording here,
Mhm.
but I love having my guys, these guys that
Yeah.
I've worked with for almost
Right.
2 decades,
Yeah.
and they know me, and they know my ins and outs. Like it's pretty hysterical because they'll like, and they just vibe. They'll play a demo, and they'll just be like, "What about this sound?
Yeah.
Let's mess with this." And then all of a sudden, it's just because I had said I want this record to be kind of like that Beck record, Sea Change,
Yeah. Sure.
that
Yeah.
first song. It's another song about driving,
Mhm.
but it's just the greatest driving song. I was like, I want this to be a record you can drive to.
Yeah.
And so he like really he hit it out of the park.
So we before we went on the air, we were undecided about what song we would play from this record. Did you figure it out?
Oh,
We're gonna play like a full song, and then I want to talk about it.
let's play Unless You Are the Wolf.
Okay, great.
Yeah, some
A
organs.
wolf song.
Yeah, it is a wolf song.
All right, tell me about the song.
Um, I had that line, "Unless you are the wolf, you are the prey." It's kind of an obvious line for years, and I just never wrote the right song. And then it was like a week before I went to make the demos with Justin, so we had to get to Kentucky pretty fast before Robbie was getting.
Yeah, maybe can we just talk for a second about Robbie, just so people know
Yes,
this context? Who was?
sorry.
No, no, no. That's all right, because you and I have talked about it, but I
Mhm.
want people to understand this context. So he was a longtime bandmate
Robbie
and close
Cosenza,
friend.
one of the greatest drummers ever. He was actually the Tarbox Ramblers for a while. He
Mhm,
was the Scourge of the Sea, these United States. He was in Vanderveer.
mhm.
Just just the most wonderful drummer and one of my best friends, like my brother.
Yeah,
And he got a pretty severe form of untreatable cancer, and he passed 2 years now, 2 years ago now.
yeah,
But we definitely knew it was kind of coming to the end of his time, and he wanted to be in the studio.
yeah.
And he was amazing. Like he just was like so focused because he was always a wild man. It was always me and him in the back of the van, like being ridiculous. We're
Yeah,
never allowed to drive on tour.
yeah.
Me and Robbie were just anyway. He was just so focused. He would get up there and he would do 2, 3 takes, and it was always perfect. And
Mhm.
all that heavy tom sound is just echoey toms on
Yeah,
the only soul on the road. It's just Robbie just shining.
yeah.
Anyway,
So on this track,
on this track, um, I woke up like it was like a couple days before I was headed to do the demos, and I was under a lot of pressure. I was like, I had to get some songs written,
yeah,
and the whole thing was just in my head. It was like 2 in the morning. I was like, I'm going downstairs and I'm getting my guitar and I'm going to write the song. And it all just happened right in that moment.
yeah,
And we had this kind of idea for this record to like make it sort of 70s live, like a lot of organs and just fun.
mhm.
And so this song, I feel it's like you kind of walked into a speakeasy and you're like, yeah, jamming, you know.
Yeah.
So that's
All right, let's play it. This is Rose Guerin. The track is "Unless You Are the Wolf" from the record "Death and the Winter Wolf" on MVY. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Let's do this again. All right, I gave it such a nice intro too. Uh, Here's the song called "Unless You Are the Wolf" from Rose Guerin on MVY Radio.
Love that old Leslie sounds so cool. That it's my sister, not blood, but commune, and Robbie's singing too. Sorry about this. Song's really fun to play live with Buck. Buck likes this one.
MVY Radio, Unless You Are the Wolf. It's Rose Guerin from her new record, Death and the Winter Wolf. So it's always funny when we have a person live in the studio. You know,
Mhm.
when you're playing live, and I sit here quietly. But then if it's an occasion where, oh, we should play something from the record, then we play the record, and I'm never sure if I'm supposed to talk or not talk to you while you're listening. But like I am always curious to hear the artist or see the artist experience their own music live. Like, what's it like to listen for you to listen to? Are you comfortable listening to yourself, or are you
It
like
depends on the
picking it
situation.
apart? Or
No, not picking it apart.
okay, good.
Depends on the situation.
Uh huh.
In this case, I just hear Robbie
Yeah.
and I hear my sister Smoa Wilson singing and Justin Craig sing. I'm happy that we
Yeah.
got to do it, and it's just a snapshot. I mean, play that song all the time, and it's different every time. That's
Yeah.
kind of the point of music, I think.
Yeah.
Keep changing it, especially if it's yours.
I think I know the answer to this question, but another kind of meta question. I I I know you're socially very comfortable. Like whenever I see you, we're always like effervescent
Hmm.
and chatty. But do you like talking about your music?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
I mean, unless we're gardening, or
And then you want to
unless you want
focus.
to talk about plants,
Yeah.
because like if anybody talks to me about plants, I'll be like, "Who cares about me? Let's talk about plants." But yeah, I love to talk about it.
Well, it's because I ask you this question because you're gonna do a thing at the Martha's Vineyard Museum.
Oh, well,
So again, your whole face just changed.
well,
Where
I'll
this
tell
is
you
gonna be like a
why.
sit-down interview
I
and
know.
performance. Can you tell me the format? When is this happening and what is the format?
Okay, it's on Thursday
Yeah, of this week.
at the muse this week,
Yeah,
which is
2 days from now.
2 days from 16th, right? I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
remember what
that's
day
right.
it is.
Yeah,
Um, and, so it's Laurel Reddington, you know
I
Laurel,
know,
our dear friend Laurel,
dearest Laurel.
and we're very comfortable together.
Yeah,
We've done a million interviews, and we're also friends, so, um, she and I will discuss the record and, my life. I did ask if I could bring Buck Shank, my guitar player.
yeah,
"Can we bring Buck Shank? It'll sound better." And she's like, "I don't even know if you're gonna play. Like, we might listen to some of the record, but we mostly wanna talk." And I'm like, "Everybody's gonna be bored of me.
yeah.
Not that interesting." So, I don't know. Maybe they'll ask me about plants.
Maybe this will be just like a yeah, the native plants of Martha's Vineyard with Rose
Yes.
Guerin. Yeah.
Oh, it's
See, so like
tougher now
I
around that.
trapped you there because I said, "Are you comfortable talking?" You're like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "How about Thursday?" And you're like, "No."
Well, I think I will be,
Yeah,
but at the same time, there is a little like, how am I gonna be charming?
I think you'll find it within you.
Try.
Other gigs, you're every Wednesday at the PA.
Every Wednesday at the PA, that's kind of my only solid thing right now. I still do some Saturdays at the Ritz,
Yeah,
just depending on their schedule. But this music that I'm putting out and just kind of this time in my life, I sort of scaled down the rock show to more of an acoustic
yeah,
duo with Buck Shank.
mhm,
Um, you know, we got some dock dance things coming up, and
yeah,
I have to play guitar, just hang out with my boys and sing and dance. But if there's a benefit, I'm probably going to be on that
yeah,
because community activism is my passion.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm not sure what's on the docket this year. We'll see.
It will
Porch Fest
unfold.
probably.
Yeah,
I'm always at Kenworthy. That's
yeah,
my girl Randy with the beautiful shop.
yeah.
Uh, I always go sit on her porch by myself and do some songs in some pretty outfit she has.
Nice.
I don't know if I played anywhere else at Porch Fest, but
I'm
I think the
sure.
dock dances play. I don't know if I have another. We'll figure it
I'm
out.
sure we'll find you. Just go see Rosie on Wednesdays, and she'll tell you where to go next.
Yeah, and go to the
And
museum.
come to the museum on Thursday. All right. I we've never called this before, but today I'm going to call it the Rose Guerin Challenge, which
Oh,
is that every time you come
oh
here,
yeah,
you play something that you haven't played, uh, either played before or played out before or is unavailable or whatever.
yeah.
You challenge yourself. It's the Rose Guerin Challenge is you challenging yourself.
It is. Well, it's kind of become because I think the first time I was in studio with you, I was like, I just wrote this song
Yeah.
and I really want to play it because it was spring on
Mhm.
Martha's Vineyard. And I played Awakening and we had just recorded it, but it wasn't out.
Yeah.
So this record that's coming out, it's coming out a song at a time, like
Mhm.
every Friday. There's actually I don't really announce that it came out till Wednesday, so unless you're like all on top of me, you don't know that it's out. Like the new one,
Right.
Devils and Men, is out. Also a Wolf song.
Uh huh.
Um, but so this is the very last song. So we played
Last
the
song on the record.
first one.
Okay.
This is the very last song, and it's called My Peace.
All right.
And it's a challenge across the board. So
All right.
it's kind of my eulogy, but at the same time, uh, it's just the beautiful things, I think, hopefully.
All right. Here's Rose Guerin live on MDY Radio.
I just remember how this goes. All right, I got it. At the day's end, when the light bends, that's when I send my best to you. And if you think of me, I hope it's funny. No, I'm thinking of you too. I've accepted the sound of the slow boots of time marching me towards the last round of a bountiful life. If I can live by the sea, hoarding treasure, memories, watching the sun slowly set on my dreams. In the waning light, maybe I will find my peace. Will you bury me beneath an old tree where you can dance on my grave? I hope you'll raise a glass and you'll have a laugh. I hope you'll always be brave. Don't lose sleep over regret. Things you didn't do. The road was never easy. Still I shared it with you. If I can live by the sea, hoarding treasure, memories, watching the sun slowly set on my dreams. In the waning light, maybe I will find my peace. In the waning light, maybe I will find my peace.
MVY Radio. It's Rose Guerin live video, a track that appears on her record called Death in the Winter Wolf. Where can people find this record?
All streaming platforms.
All streaming platforms, going out one song at a time, so a couple are available to you now, and new
I
songs
think
out
there's
every Friday.
five out actually.
All right, halfway there.
Yeah, and you know, there's YouTube. We're doing some fun visual stuff on YouTube. And
Yeah, I know. I got a preview of something that's coming.
sorry for my flubby guitar.
It's live radio.
That's why you get the headphones.
Rose is not wearing headphones because she didn't want it to mess with her hat. She's got a great
No.
hat on today. All right, you're at the PA Club tomorrow. You're in conversation at the Martha's Vineyard Museum on Thursday.
Yes, I am.
We love having you here. Thank you.
Thanks, PJ.
We'll play some Beatles, okay? You can get that?
Yeah, I'm down.
She said on MVY.